Hello everyone, my name is Fahad Basharit and my student ID is 21070875 and this project is about Al Mawarid real estate investment company. This is our client. It's basically based in Sharjah and in UAE, and they are like real estate company, and they have different buildings, and they are renting out each building around hundreds of tenants, and they have different dates at which they are receiving money, and uh, they were facing so many issues regarding the collection of their rents, and also they were facing issues relating to the problems such as the customer complaints. They were unable to address them on time. Payment, the rentals were going overdue. They were using like a system, but not a very good system, sometime Excel sheet to see which client the rent is due, and sometime they use other simple systems, but they are not using any advanced system which can help them to address their issues. So our recommendation and our goal of this project was to help them installing and recommending ERP systems. uh, our project overall scope was helping them to understand the viability, like how this system will help them, what would be their advantages, and our professional advice, of course. In this presentation, first of all, we will define our solution model testing plan, how we are going to test our solution that we are giving our client so that we can, of course, satisfy them. And secondly, this project is also about this presentation will also talk about what adjustments and amendments we make during our project scope. Like we kept on talking, we kept on discussing different things, and we keep on changing our things. Presentation will include data visualization and communication of insights of the project. We will also be interpreting an application in comparison to data analysis hypothesis. So we can set up a target, a hypothesis, which we have to make it prove right or whatever. So we can help the client to testify the things that this project is going to help them. Well, at the end of this project, of course, we give a conclusion and our recommendation and what would be our next steps to address all the issues. Uh, Coming to the client feedback, we received multiple feedbacks from clients. We also included in that presentation, which we will be discussing later, and so many lessons that we learned from this exercise. And we also have our personal reflection, like what we learned and what are the takeouts and how project is going to help us in the future. Coming to the next slide, first of all, as I discussed before, we had to present a solution model testing plan, that how we are going to do. There are multiple techniques that we learned. The MAC was the technique which we adopted mostly in our project, where we defined the problems, we measured those problems, we analyzed the solutions, we kept on improving them, and we control our overall project. So it was like a roadmap for us, that we kept always the image of this Mac in front of us throughout our project. Of course, this was about to make sure that we are actually doing a proper methodology we are facing, and we make sure the problems must be addressed. uh, Whatever our testing plan, we definitely implemented that plan. We gathered data from multiple resources. We had primary data as well, and we had a secondary data as well. So we went through the presentations. We just uh, we set our KPIs, like, for example, if a tenant overdue payments were like 30 days, so he is not able to pay within 30 days of after its due date. So our KPI was that it should be maximum 1 week, that the tenant should set the send the target, and the system shouldn't allow more than 7 days. So it was an accountability as well. So this helped us to set a limit, which we discussed with our client. So we just move accordingly. Next was yeah, as I said, that mistake rates, resource usage. Of course, when the clients are saying to us that they are facing problems with it, with their renting and all this, with their repairs and maintenance. So we had to allocate the resources so that we can fix their building. Like for example, some electricity shortage is there, some other painting issues or whatever the issues they were facing in their houses, and they send us complaints. So we set KPIs for that, so we can evaluate them. We went through thorough investigation, uh, and the system, in fact, will help us. It will statistically analyze the data, and it will help us to identify the issues that are on a repeat basis. So we already know what what is going to happen with a particular tenant in the 6th month, in the 7th month, in the 9th month. For example, day one, we will set out the full building with them, clear everything, no defect, and then when we give them, and then we know that after 6 months, this types of complaints probably will come. So we already buy the resources so that whenever the complaint is done, we already have resources and we straight away correct them. Uh, as I said earlier, the Mac was a very good decision-making system. Uh, why we choose the Mac? The project aim and objectives are clearly stated. Of course, that's the first thing. It utilizes data to measure the process objectives, and there are so many other things that being the reasons why we choose the Mac. Moving next, evaluation and output. Uh, Assessing the ERP solution. The effectiveness of the ERP solution has been thoroughly and data-driven assessed. So we didn't just give them the evaluation based on theory, but we went into the data as well and provided them the basis for their decision. Uh, to gauge the effect of the solution on the operations of Al Mawarid, like operational effectiveness was one of the main focus for us, because it is going to optimize their operations, uh, accelerating process times and lowering mistake rates. That was our first thing. Okay, this ERP, of course, it's an advanced system, so there is a data accuracy as well, and we were also focusing on the customer services, such as making sure that they are satisfied, and our buildings are our ultimate choice, and it can help us to build up our Google account reviews as well, so more and more customers comes to our building. uh, Aligning with object project objectives, these results perfectly match the project original objectives. Yeah, because we need to align everything so we are heading in the right direction. Al Mawarid Real Estate Investment Company is now well positioned for the future thanks to the AAP solution. Yeah, the solutions we suggested them, and all the database solution, and we helped them to understand how the current problems. We just listed down all the problems to them. Then we told them that these problems will be supported by ERP system, and it will help them to deal with most of their problems. And then we have next thing, solution adjustments and amendments. As I said before, that we this was ongoing project. So we during the evaluation stage we learned that there are so many things that we need to improve in our system. Uh, Through the adaptation or in according to the evaluation, we learned different thing. We find out potential opportunities for future ERP solutions. uh, why? Because we wanted to improve. We have made changes to some setup and procedures. These modifications are a result of stakeholder feedback and data-driven insights. Of course, we did surveys and we identified so many other problems. Like there were few tenants which were complaining about no response on their complaints in our office in Mawarid office. So we included a complaint resolution system in our ERP model where we linked it directly to the management system, where if the complaint goes above 7 days, it notifies to the management. So we figure out that the problem of procrastination by some of the employees is addressed through the system. Of course, the flexibility, it helps the implementation process become more flexible. We make sure that we quickly adopt, although ERP systems are not very easy to amend, but we managed to do that by handling some of the systems by our IT team. Uh, yeah, and then right. So about the data visualization, we use different charts and graphs, which you can see in our other website pages that we use. We helped our things to improve through, let's say, fishbone analysis, where on one side we put the problems that our systems and the company was facing, and then we linked it to the reasons of those problems. So they are linked together. And then we also use different frameworks of the math. We use risk matrix evaluation so that we identified maximum risk that the company is facing and our overall project risk. And then we highlighted with the different colors. Red color, for instance, was the biggest risk and has the biggest consequences, while the others were not very big consequences. So we also make a risk register, and we had the project timeline as well. Uh, uh, so we use different visualization techniques, and we posted on our website as well. Whatever we discussed with the client, whatever we forwarded them, we had these on our websites to make our things more attractive. Okay, then interpretation and application in comparison to data analysis hypothesis. Okay, so data analysis in light of initial hypothesis, the project established two main hypotheses at the beginning of this project. The first thing was we are implementing ERP solution, and we claim that this ERP solution is going to improve their systems effectiveness. They will simplify their processes, and the data would be managed in a better way. More customer data will be in the system. Every customer will have its own job cost, which will include their repairs, their overdues, and all these things. Uh, our first hypothesis was accepted because our solution was evaluated positively. Hypothesis 2, task automation was confirmed to have significantly reduced manual labor across all departments, which was also accepted. Then another hypothesis which was accepted was the deployment of ERP solution considerably increased the accuracy of data entry and retrieval. Definitely, because if you look into the if you compare the Excel and current simple systems of Al Mawarid real estate, it is not easy to extract data accurately. But this ERP solution, because it links everything, you can click on one customer, it shows you its overdue, it shows you its pending complaints, it shows you the rent schedule, it shows how many months are left with the rent, so we can do timely renewal of the rentals. This was very important because sometimes what happens, uh, we know that there is an overdue payment because we already recorded revenues in our system, but sometime when the renting period was expired, we are unable to identify how many months we are going to renew and all these things. So the system helps that as well. Data analysis not only supported but even exceeded the original theories. That was quite amazing in our ERP project because whatever we think before, we find out different benefits for that. The assumptions have been confirmed by the analysis and the use of data, which highlights the importance of ERP solution. Right. So, based on all that, we build our conclusion. In our conclusion, the project sought to build an ERP solution utilizing the MAC techniques uh, in order to solve the operational efficiencies or inefficiencies of Almohad real estate. The project effectively showed the ERP solution's beneficial influence, and definitely we recommended full-scale ERP adoption. Uh, we also recommend them to continuously train their employees to make sure they are fully adapting to it, and we focus on data analytics and definitely a continuous improvement and routine performance monitoring for their upcoming things. We also tell our client the roadmap for their project, which definitely includes their planning, and then execution, monitoring, and adaptation according to the required changes over the time. We give them the current plan of their project. Um, we also support them based on the for the execution and monitoring of their systems. And well, this is everything we give to our client, and now it's up to them. Whenever they want to do, we will definitely help them. Okay, based on all these implementation, we received some mixed feedback, mostly positive. Here are some feedbacks. My experience working with the project team has been remarkable. Uh, our operations have been made more efficient by the ERP deployment, and the project's professionalism and commitment have been remarkable. That was quite encouraging. Data analysis has shown some eye-opening findings because we give them the possible solutions to the problems, and then they knows the problems, but now they find the solution as well. The implementation was successful in the larger part due to the project retention. They already in the process of employing the ERP solution. Data visualization, they were very appreciating, and thanks to our project mentors who helps us to use different data visualization techniques. We are now on a path to even better efficiency and expansion, thankfully, and we will definitely be in touch with them so we can help them to improve further in the future. There are different lessons that we learned from it. Uh, Data complexity, how to handle complex data. There were different resistances which we had to deal. Integration and diffusion. It was essential to provide easy integration with the current system. We learned different things from our project, such as effective communication, stakeholders must be informed. We learned that not only the the client owners or the company, but everyone should be, whoever is the stakeholder needs to be managed according to their significance. Flexibility, of course, we learned that we cannot just impose a single system. We need to include flexibility in that, and we had to engage stakeholders most of the time. We always need to focus on continuous improvement because the circumstances changes over time. Uh, in my personal, well, it was a very good development, personal development, and we understand different ways to deal clients. Uh, the problem solutions and finding their problems, include making more flexible thinking instead of being rigid to us to something that we want to do it. It was one of the key importance of the project. We always need to work in collaboration and make sure we have always a good communication. uh, Overall impact of the project, the success of the project was directly influenced by personal progress. We learned that the accomplishment of project objectives was greatly aided by overcoming obstacles. Yes, that's the important thing. You need to keep on satisfying your employees and all them, sorry, the client, so that they are always feel positive about the overall progress. This project serves as a tremendous learning opportunity, overall emphasizing the value of flexibility, collaboration, and better communication, so we get better results. We use different references which are listed down here. There are more, but more these were the major thing. And then thank you very much. This was all from it today.